Alright, we're headed to work again on Tuesday. It's a rainy day, so that sucks, but what are you gonna do? I have to take Charlie to swim lessons tonight, but he's been sick, so I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. But he's missed 2 swim lessons already. Get my wipers on. He's missed 2 swim lessons already because, the first time he was getting sick, and then the second time he had just gotten out of the hospital, and I told the swim instructor, I'm not gonna make it, So she said, of course not. Why don't you bring him Tuesday night and, we'll make up that lesson, even though it's like a preschool class. It wasn't supposed to be a preschool class. It was also supposed to be a baby class for 6 to 36 months. But he was basically the only baby that had signed up. So she tried to combine it with a preschool class, and she just wasn't getting to him. So she said, Tuesday nights are, I'm going to give you your money back. You can still come. But I had no incentive to come because I wasn't losing money by not coming. So I stopped going Tuesday nights. But she said, come on by Tuesday night. I've noticed you haven't been coming. You're welcome to come. So we might go. I'm not sure because it's kind of raining and it's a little chilly, and my grandmother's like, you shouldn't be taking him out of the house. There we go. You shouldn't be taking him out of the house. But I'm like, Grandma, babies, they have to get sick their first winter so they can build up an immunity. Though it will test your resolve when your baby ends up in the hospital. Then you're sort of like, I'm kind of afraid to let him get sick now. This is scary, But, I think there's going to be things that happen to you as a mother that scare you, but you still can't put your baby in a bubble. You kind of have to push forward and be like, yes, scary things do happen. And your baby might get sick or your baby might get hurt, but and I know you're scared because you don't want anything to happen to your baby, especially somebody like me who intentionally had a baby and it was a process, you don't want anything to happen to them. But then you kind of, and I guess this is in life, this is a thing, you also don't want to be so afraid to live that you're not living. Your survival instincts shouldn't make it to where you don't want to live at all. You don't want to take any chances or whatever. So I might go ahead and take him to swim lessons. It's hard because there's other things that people are like, what are you doing? I do baby-led weaning, which basically means I don't feed him purees on a spoon. I give him safely prepared finger foods and real foods of what I'm eating. And there are people of the previous generation, I haven't been met with anybody that is very mean about it, but just well-meaning, oh, you should be cutting that up, that spaghetti. Or, he's eating hamburger, and I'm like, well, strips of hamburger, and he's chewing on it. Does he have any teeth? No, so that's sort of if he can't get stuff off into his mouth that isn't safe for him to have in his mouth anyway. And he's already starting to practice using a fork, and that's because I kind of let him practice. That said, everybody's approach to parenting is different, and if you feed your baby purees, I'm totally cool with that too. I'm not here to tell you how to raise your baby. I just don't want people to tell me how to raise mine. And I think that just kind of goes with anything. Some people wouldn't introduce their child to swim classes at 6 months old, but I did. And, some people are like, well, I don't know, that's a little early, isn't it? Well, and I'm of the camp that says, no, I want him to be exposed to water. Because I want him to kind of know what to do if something were to happen. If he fell into the water and he had been practicing strokes, it might increase his chances of making it to the side of the pool. And if he's been comfortable around the pool. Though it is scary. It's scary to have him in there because you start thinking stuff you don't want to think, oh my goodness, what if I accidentally dropped him? You don't want to feel that way, but it happens. So I want to, you know, take him to the pool. And I do take him out, even if I think he's got a few sniffles. Because he's got to get sick, as scary as it is, especially after he's been to the hospital. And I give him real food because I don't want him to be picky, though I think some of that has to do with his temperament. I think you can do what you think is everything right, and a child can still be picky or not picky, you know, especially if they have like sensory issues around certain textures of food. There's nothing you can do about that, really. And then, you know, when he gets older, I do want him to be that kid that goes and plays on the playground, and, you know, I don't want him to break his neck, but if he gets a scrape and he has to decide for himself, was it worth... I felt a little bit of pain when I did that stupid thing. Was it worth it? Do I still want to do it again? And, you know, with him, if he's an adventurous little guy, he might say, well, you know, I'm going to keep trying this, and I'm going to keep falling, and I'll get up and I'll try again, and I'm going to keep falling, I'm going to get up and try again. Or he might say, this isn't worth it, at least not here and now, and he might stop. Those are called natural consequences, and I don't want to take that choice from him. So that's what I want to do. I want to kind of let him live his life. You know, unless there's, like, I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, you can run around wherever you want, even over there near the street. Of course, at some point I got to play the mom card, because I do understand more about the world than he does. And there are times when it's like, you don't have enough information to make this decision, and then I'll make it for him. But as he gets older, I do want him to make some scrapes and falls. And I don't want to hover, but, you know, I do want to keep him safe. We'll see how that goes. Pulling into the school now. All right. I will see you guys on the flip side next video. Have a good day.